There are so many designers and creatives out there that are charging less than what they should be in the design field, the creative field. You should be paid more. Well, this is the thought of a lot of creatives. A lot of people think that creativity you don't get paid for. You're more of a starving artist. You're the best logo designer or the best graphic designer, best painter, but you don't really get paid what you think you should, because you see other designers such as myself who get paid more than you or other people. The people who get paid more aren't paid more by chance or by coincidentally being somewhere else or having a certain type of client base. It's because they've put the work and effort into it and they've followed these sort of tools and tips that I'm going to give you in this video to get paid more. A portion of this video is sponsored by FreshBooks. So in this video, I'm going to show you how I get high paying clients, from clients anywhere between $3,000 all the way up to $10,000 to $15,000 for logo and branding projects, and not getting clients for like $5 or anywhere less than $1,000. Just to preface this video, I just want to make sure that you understand that getting paid for design work is like getting paid for anything else. It's all about the value that you bring. And if you don't know who I am, I'm a designer. I work in logo type and branding design. We work in an agency in the north of England, and we get clients that are small, like coffee shops, all the way to big tech companies and large corporations. I'm going to be showing you today how I make sure that we get paid fairly and very well for our client projects. Number one is position yourself. Your position to something is so important for what you want to get. If you're wanting to drink from a well, you can't drink from the well unless you're positioned near the well. Now, if you know this well is going to fill up with water and you're not positioned anywhere near it, you're not going to get a chance to get to the water until it dries up and the opportunity is gone. Positioning yourself as an expert in your field when you are actually an expert. Don't position yourself if you're not an expert. But if you are an expert, position yourself as one online. Show people what you do, how you do it. Your portfolio needs to show expertise and professionalism. If you don't show your portfolio in an expert light, people aren't going to trust you. And your portfolio could be all the way from a social media account like Instagram to Facebook to YouTube, or your website, or all of them at the same time. For me, my brand is my portfolio. This brand that you're seeing here, this is me and my portfolio. This is how I can get people to trust me, because they know who I am. I position myself as an expert by teaching, but not only that, I position myself as an expert through case studies and showing my process. And you can do this online. Something that's very important to keep in mind is that large companies who pay more, the high paying clients, want to work with professionals. The ones that pay less than that are looking at someone they don't think is a professional. So if you're getting a large amount of emails of people who say that they want to work with you, but their budget is like $5, $20, even $200, then that's because you have not positioned yourself in the market as a professional. So number one, show as much profession and expertise as you can in your portfolio, on social media, and on your website. Number two, increase your skill set. There are a lot of designers who are genuinely entitled in thinking that they should be paid more for doing the same as someone else. The biggest problem that we have in the industry at the minute with novice designers, amateurs, and even professional designers for years is that they think that because someone else is getting paid a certain amount, that they should be paid that amount also, sort of like an equality of pay. And to some extent, I understand this and I get it. But on the other hand, you as a designer have specific skill sets that other designers don't.
I can tell you I don't have money, but what I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills I've acquired over a very long career. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you.
For instance, for me, I do hand lettering and logo type design. So I'm specialized in brand strategy through logo design and actual branding assets. Not only do I do that, I bring my other skill sets in to the project, such as font design. Font design is a huge one. It's a skill set that not many graphic designers have in the branding area. And because I've got these extra skill sets, of course, I'm going to be paid more. I'm going to charge more for these extra skill sets that I've got. for the projects that I'm working on. So if you're someone who's a logo designer, maybe a branding strategist as well, someone who generally creates visual identities for companies, it's a good idea to increase your skill set with something else. This is how we keep on top of things, whether that is hand lettering, whether that is font design, maybe you want to do web design or 3D modeling, then you're increasing your skill set and what you can do. Number 3 is to gain trust. If corporate clients don't trust you to do the work because they would trust a larger firm like a design agency like ourselves to do it, then they're not going to work with you. They don't trust you. How do you increase trust? Well, it's called transparency. Be transparent online through your portfolio. Show what you've worked on, how you've worked with other people. And this isn't just for even amateur designers. This is for novices as well that have never even worked for a client before. You can show your process of building your portfolio and your whole design ecosystem on your website. For us, what we do is we show our process not only on YouTube to teach you guys, but we also show it on our website. We show it when we're presenting to them, and we also show it when we're talking to prospective clients. This builds trust because they're seeing me face to face. They know my personality. They know what sort of design skills I have, as well as my style, and they generally trust you. And that's a good thing. And you want that with the client. Clients who don't trust you are not going to work with you. So if you're someone who thinks that you can just get thousands of dollars, like tens of thousands of dollars worth of work for a large corporation without gaining trust, you're going to have a hard time. A good way of gaining trust before starting a client project, if someone wants to meet with you just before they pay you the first deposit, is to meet with them on a Zoom call. This shows your personality, this shows your enthusiasm, your expertise and profession all in there, and you can give spitballing ideas of what you can do, and you can really delve deep into the person that you're talking to in there. Our job as designers is to visually communicate with typography and assets that you see. That's what we're here for. As a logo designer, we're trying to create the face of a company that stands out, that is unique. We need to show this to the client that we're passionate about what we do and that we won't rest until we get the right form of logo or the right design for you. Number 4 is rehearsing negotiations. One of the big problems about people getting low-paying clients is that they think that money is this dirty thing. They don't want to ask for any more because they don't. They just think it's awkward and you don't like it. Well, this is where negotiations come in. My wife, Naomi, who works as the director of the company, the agency we work with, her main job is to negotiate with clients. And the way she does this is by telling us our price and they tell us their price. She's not afraid of negotiating with people. Negotiation is an art. So to do this well, you need to learn it online. You need to do it, put yourself in positions where you should negotiate with other people. Start small, start with a friend and rehearse it. Maybe have key points written out so you know what to say when someone says, I could get this cheaper on this website. Why should I go for you? You should rehearse your response and tell them about your expertise, your professionalism, and the value that you bring. Which brings me on to number 5, which is adding value. You've heard me say it a lot. You've heard a lot of other people say it a lot. Add value to your service and people will come to you and you can charge higher. The more value you have, the more people will pay. That is what value is. The more expert you are, the higher the value you are. The more professional you are, can be higher value. The more you know is a higher value, and your influence is a high value. But not only that, a good place to add value is just by upping your price. If you don't know how to add value, then maybe you need to do a bit more research and rewind in this video. Adding value is simply adding to your tool set, your skill set, what you can do. For me, I don't just do logo design. Adding value for me is that I strategize with the brand before I even work with them. I show them and I explain to them that 1, I'm not a producer, I'm a designer. I will design something that's functionally right for you and that works, that helps you stand out in the market and make you more money. And I explain this to them by showing them a presentation and concepts for other companies and other things that I've worked on. I will position myself as someone who has value and I won't position myself as a producer. I'm a designer, someone who creates useful things. I'm not an artist that creates something fun and like for no reason. No dissing on artists, because hand lettering is kind of an art as well. You can also cater yourself to a specific industry, so niche down to a few industries that you want to work with. For us, we work with tech companies. We also work with like shops, and those are the two main ones: tech, modern, shops, or services. When you cater yourself down, people in those services will be searching for people who can design brands in that area, in that industry. So that's a great way of adding value, which is having more knowledge in that industry than, let's say, another logo designer. That company, if they were to choose someone who doesn't know about the industry to someone who knows about the industry and is professional, then they're going to go for the person or the designer that knows more about the industry. Another way to add value is just by knowing what your client wants and needs. The first thing is needs, really. If they need a logo like an icon, do they need a word mark, a logo type? Do they need branding assets that go all the way through the sub-brands? Do they need this? That's for you to diagnose. And if you don't know what they need, they will not see you as an expert. You're not adding value to them. A way of us adding value, as soon as we even started when I was freelance, was brand consultations without even calling them that. We strategize with every client that comes in. We don't just design a logo through an email. We make sure that we know that company inside and out, what they want to be perceived as. And we can do this through questionnaires, but it's always great to do it in person, to ask them questions that are relevant to the project. You don't have to call yourself a brand strategist to do this. Brand strategy is fairly simple when it comes down to the core concepts. If you want to know more about that, I'll do another video soon. Before I get into the last few ones, I want to thank FreshBooks for sponsoring this video. FreshBooks is the all-in-one accounting solution for you and your business, whether you're medium or small. If you're like me, then there's a lot of invoicing and expenses that you need to write up, and it can be very time consuming. But luckily, FreshBooks is here for you. You can build and track invoices and keep all your expenses so you know what you've spent, and it automatically connects to your bank accounts as well. FreshBooks has tons of reports that you can choose from as well. You can see how your business is going through the graphs on there. It's very clever. And one of the great things is you can easily hand over the keys to your accountant so they can take over when tax time is here, so you don't even have to do anything really. To try FreshBooks for completely free with no credit card required, go ahead and go to freshbooks.com/Will Paterson and write my name, Will Paterson, in the How Did You Hear About Us section. Get more time to build your business. Number 6 is showing your expert understanding. I've already talked about this a little bit, but showing your expert understanding is through voice calls. If you can talk to them and show them on your portfolio, your understanding, how you understand this project more than them and how you're a person of value for them without coming across as weird, then you're going to have an easier time charging the client. Ways of doing this is showing them a presentation of what you've done for other clients, or showing them example presentations of like a concept and explaining the walkthrough of the process. For me, this is quite simple because I've got videos on my channel talking about the process of logo design, from the time when I meet with a client all the way to when I finish the project. People know how it works, so they trust me and they know that I'm a professional and they know I'm an expert because they've seen my work, they've heard it from other companies. Lots of other companies have said good things about it and they're all making money, these companies. Finally, number 7 is the big controversial one, which is say no to low-paying clients. But I hear you say, Will, I need to work with these guys because I've got no money and I need to basically have this job. You know, I feel for you. Just a disclaimer, I know you guys have been struggling through this last year in 2020 and even now, so this has become even more difficult to do. But something that you can do is something called the overlap method, and I want to encourage you to look into that. It's by a guy called Sean West or Sean McCabe. I'll put the link in the description below. It's an amazing teaching talking about how you can start to get high-paying clients by overlapping one piece of work or one work area in your life with your freelance area. The main point is to say no to these low-paying clients. People who complain and feel entitled about getting paid more are generally people who don't know how to get paid more. They blame other companies for doing so. They blame big, large corporate free market companies But the reality is, if you're getting people asking for a $35 or giving you a budget of a $35 logo, it's because you haven't provided the value and you haven't provided your expertise. It's not the fault of any other company doing this. It's actually your fault. That's the way we have to be today, responsible. Big controversial one. And a little pro tip for anyone out there, if you are just like, I don't know how to raise my prices, start right now, raise your price. The funny thing about raising your price is that it increases your value. Sounds strange, sounds a bit backwards, but it's true. Something that costs more is more valuable. For anyone out there who believes that companies that are providing cheap work are the reason why people can't get paid, then the people who are saying that to you aren't good clients, or you have a very big misunderstanding of what the design industry is. There are things that we can do to position ourselves to make more money and to have a fair pay from clients. So today, what you can do to start earning more money is probably not the answer that you want, but it's the honest one that everyone should give you, is add more value by increasing your prices. Say no to projects. We say no to roughly 80% of people who ask for logos because they think that we will charge less, but we don't. And that's part of what we do. You'll see over time that your value will increase and that you can increase your pay packet as you become more known. And that is the way it works. Guys, if you did enjoy this video, please press that red subscribe button. I'm going to be posting more videos centered around professionals in the design industry as well. I know I've been talking a lot for beginners, which is great. So beginners keep watching and the people who are amateurs keep watching, but I'm going to talk to you about how to get up there and become a bit more professional, earn more money and do better in your design career this year. Thanks for watching. Comment below Lime and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.